Hello, and welcome to Discovery Corner. I'm Claire Melvin. Pop the kettle on, pour yourself a glass of wine, maybe even put your trainers on or run a bath, and join me for another journey of discovery. February is the month of love, and in Discovery Corner, I'm joined by Sibylle Ansley, a dating and relationship coach, to talk about love and finding love in midlife. So welcome to the podcast, Sibylle, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Claire. Great to be here.
Now, I'm going to say I'm intrigued as to what a dating and relationship coach is. So could you please share what it is and how you ended up becoming one?
Yeah, with pleasure. So a coach helps people, as I'm sure many people know by now, work towards a certain goal. That started in sports, and then it kind of branched out into all sorts of areas. Many people have a business coach or a life coach.
Yeah.
And so I think it does come as a surprise for people that you can set yourself a goal in dating or in love and then work towards that. Because we still kind of believe, we have been influenced by things like Hollywood to believe that you don't really have to do anything, or you can't even do anything to find the right partner. It's up to fate.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something new, I think more so in Europe than in the US. But what I do is I specialize in helping single women, and especially women who are a bit older, so no longer in their 20s, starting really in their mid-30s, because this is where dating becomes more of a challenge, especially for women. We can go into that if we want, and where it can become quite frustrating and tiring. And so then if someone wants support in this area, and if they believe that they can do something about that to speed things up and to also feel better during dating, and of course find the right partner, then I'm there to support them with the conscious dating framework, which was developed by the Relationship Coaching Institute, which is where I trained.
So did you just sort of wake up one morning and thought, I know what, I'll be a dating relationship coach?
You know what? So short answer, no. I have always been fascinated by people. I have always had this longing to have a partner by my side. Even when I was a teenager already, I wanted to have a boyfriend more than anything.
Yeah.
So just having this person who sees you, who finds you special, and who you can have this special relationship with, that has always been a priority of mine. I think it's often the case that what we want the most kind of eludes us. That was my case too. So for a long time, I really struggled in relationships. I even felt like I was the odd one out, and there was no one out there for me. I had very low self-worth, and that was kind of reflected back to me also in my relationships. I found dating very stressful in that it was an emotional roller coaster for me. I did get married in my 20s, and I was in a 14-year-long relationship / marriage. We also have a son together. But then that ended in my late 30s, and I was then divorced with a child and wanted to find a partner again. So that desire immediately popped up again. It wasn't like, okay, this marriage failed and now I'm giving up. It was almost even stronger. So for me, it was really this drive to find the right person. And like I said, dating was hard though. I was attracted to the guys who didn't want me or who just wanted a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And the ones who wanted me, I found boring.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
Right?
We've all been there.
And I speak to a lot of women who can relate to that. But on the other hand, I also thought, come on, how hard can it be? Like other people go into relationships all the time and seem to be making it work. Why can't I? Like, what is so wrong with me?
Yeah.
No. And that eventually convinced me to get help, because I thought, either I'm just a hopeless case and I didn't want to believe that, or there is something I'm just not seeing. And so I got coaching support in this area. That was back in 2016. And everyone around me thought I was crazy. But it worked. And so for me, you asked me, you know, did I one day wake up and decide I want to be a dating and relationship coach? No, it was that experience that not only did it lead me to my husband, so my second husband, and we've been together now for 10 years. And it all happened in 8 months. So a relatively short period of time. It was so eye-opening with regard to myself and my own development. That for me, it was just wow all around. And then it also rippled out into other areas of my life. So it changed how I relate to my son and my family and my friends, and how I have business relationships. And yes.
Yeah. And it's funny because you look at things like dating apps, and I've done a bit of research into this, and then you sort of find, people, like a dating agency. So in a way, it's almost an extension of that. So it's, rather than just looking yourself, you're kind of helping, looking at you in order to be able to then find what it is that you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and sorry, just maybe to add to that, I think it's a great question to ask. Why have dating apps become so popular? I think matchmakers and, like you say, dating agencies, they're still lagging behind. They're not as popular as apps. But apps for a few years now have been the #1 tool for people, for singles, to connect. And why is that? And I think, well, there are several reasons. One reason is that people like the idea that apps make it easy. And that all you need to do, and from the comfort of your home at that, is to swipe a few times, and then you meet your soulmate. But we're figuring out that it's not like that.
It's that kind of almost instant gratification that's kind of creeping into other areas. Like you say, it's just like, oh, I like the look of you. And that's, you need to do the work on yourself, really, to know what you want and what you don't want and what you're looking for. And maybe what you think you're looking for actually isn't the right thing for you on reflection. And then once you've kind of got that, then it's evolving onto the apps or to whatever it is, of kind of following that to actually help you meet that person for you.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous to think that finding the right person will make everything okay. And it's all about finding that person. I think that is a very limited view of what relationships are about. I heard that recently from the British philosopher Alain de Botton. Don't know if you know him.
Yep.
Where he says that finding someone for a relationship is actually not that hard. It's making a relationship work. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And And that's the part that really requires a lot of skill.
Yeah.
Actually, dating already requires a lot of skill, but we don't think about it that way.
Yeah.
We think that as human beings, all we need is someone to take one look at us and then fall in love with us, accept us as we are, as is, and that's it.
Yeah.
But relationships are really about development.
Yeah. And, you don't live happily ever after. There is always, you change and evolve, and they change and evolve. And it's being able to do that together as well.
Right. And choosing the right person for that. Sorry to butt in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all. And I was going to say that things like that, you don't really get taught about relationships anyway. You just kind of try and figure it out yourself and, look at what other people, and sometimes you see things, or you have the, proverbial red flags, but you don't necessarily realize that they're a red flag. So you go, well, actually, that's not a great thing, but that person likes me, so I'm just going to put up with it. And it's knowing your own self-worth that actually I'm not going to put up with whatever that thing that person is doing, because I deserve more than that.
Oh yeah, there's so much in what you just said. Yeah. So we don't get taught at school, for example, how to have functioning or even great relationships. The thing is, we do get taught something, just not consciously.
Yeah.
Because we grow up modeling the relationships around us. So we all function on pattern.
Yeah.
The problem is when we grow up and we struggle with self-worth, just to take that as an example, and we don't learn that our needs and our boundaries matter. Then later in life, we're actually attracted to, so I speak from the point of view of women.
Yeah.
So then we are attracted to, if we are heterosexual, men who precisely violate our boundaries.
Yeah.
So we even find that attractive because it's familiar. And so very often, first of all, it's a case of even realizing that there is something going on here that I should stop and change. And that realization on its own can be hard on our own.
Yeah.
Because it can be a massive blind spot. And falling in love, so having this chemistry with someone where we then actually have a dysfunctional relationship, it actually feels exciting at the beginning. And so we want more of that excitement, and our hormones get triggered, which is very addictive.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we overlook the red flags.
And then again, if we're kind of brought up to model the patterns and those relationships around us are dysfunctional or unhealthy or non-existent, then you're kind of filling the gaps in with something that kind of looks like maybe what you saw somewhere else, but actually it's like I say, it's not healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm it's funny because I'm in a situation now that I still can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm turning 50 this year, and it feels scary. And I've got a lot of friends who sort of married in their their 20s and 30s, and I went to a lot of weddings 20, 30 years ago, and now we're at that stage that quite a few of, I can probably count on two hands and possibly go even to a third, friends are now getting divorced. Their husbands have decided, had enough of you, I want to trade you in for a younger model / whatever other reason that they come up with. And then you've got these women who are now have had like almost the rug pulled from under them. They maybe aren't as financially sort of stable as they had been. They don't have kids, so they're now looking after the sort of the main caregiver of the child. And that's a really tough thing as well, that you've been through something and now you're having to like start again, and it's learning to trust other people, learning to trust yourself. You then got to have that kind of support around you if you want to start dating someone that you trust will look after your children, and that as well that's really a tough situation to be in.
Absolutely. And it's one that I can personally relate to. Just going through a big breakup. So you've been with someone for many years, possibly even married. You've merged your lives. You had at some point at least a vision for the rest of your life together. And for all of that to change, it's massive upheaval.
Yeah.
Massive. And so, like you said, it's very destabilizing because suddenly you have to rethink everything, basically, from childcare to how you work, finances, how you even make time for friends, family, yourself. And very often we ourselves are at the very bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And then to throw into the mix something like dating. I think for me, a huge issue why it wasn't working was that I was simply a lot of the time so stressed. I was just, juggling so many things and trying to keep my shit together, excuse my French.
Yes.
That it was just hard, first of all, to make time to go on dates and then to be easy breezy about it. So to go in with the right attitude where, you're not attached to the outcome, you're just seeing where it goes. And like you said, to also have a certain level of trust towards someone you don't know, because we should be giving the benefit of the doubt at the beginning while having our eyes wide open. But that can be extremely hard when your trust has just been shattered. And I know that was that was probably the number one thing that held me back in dating and why I was attracted to unavailable men. That was for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I was really afraid to end up in the same situation, that I get involved with someone in a way that is committed and serious, and that person walks away from me. And not only from me, but also from my son.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, you have to consider the needs of your child and actually introducing this person into their life, and then what is a good time to do that, and will they be somebody that you want to have your child around? And there are some people that if you've got kids there, that's a deal breaker, and then you go, well, okay, well, there is so much to think about, and it's
and that's precisely why I really want to help women who are a bit older, because the older we get, and I don't want to bring people down here, but I just want to be real about things. It does get harder. Simply because the older we get, the more baggage we have.
Yeah.
And as baggage counts, something like our kids,
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we love them, but
to other people.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't make it easier to find a partner, because a lot of men don't want to look after another man's child or children. And so we also have the emotional baggage of the wounds that we have sustained in relationships.
Yeah.
And we haven't always healed enough from that. So it's easy also to kind of live in the past with our thoughts and feelings still, and have some open chapters. And like you say, there is a lot to consider. The older we get, the more there is, really. And then also, I really like that. There is a dating coach, Logan Uri, who has written the book, How to Not Die Alone, one that I very much recommend. And she says, so when we start a relationship in our 20s, it's like a startup. So, you're kind of starting something new. Both people are still very flexible.
Yeah.
But then when we're older, let's say in our 40s, 50s, 60s, it's a merger. But then you are merging two lives that are very full already. There's a lot happening there, and a lot has happened.
Yeah.
And so then to find someone where it's a fit. Well, there are fewer people out there at that stage to begin with who it could be a fit with. And then also we have to be very discerning.
Of course. And then what you're saying earlier about it then is that kind of making it work as well. And you've both got to put that work in. And I guess the other thing about when you start to think about women, particularly in their 40s and 50s, you then, unfortunately, the menopause and the perimenopause and all that kind of crazy hormones that kind of get into the mix. And then, there's I don't know if you've heard it. It's this, we're the sandwich generation. So you're looking after your children, but then potentially your parents are getting older and you're kind of looking after them. And it's like you're the little bit of filling in the middle that's getting squashed from either side, and that is almost has no time for yourself as well. So it is, it is a real challenge. But I think I'd actually like to kind of talk a bit more positively now, because I think we've all it's been a little bit doom and gloom so far. It's all been awful.
I have a suggestion how to give this a positive twist, and it's actually something I was just now thinking. If I may?
Yeah, of course, please do.
Okay. Because I remember that phase of doom and gloom when I was, like I said, divorced, single with my son. I was working 2 jobs to stay afloat financially. I was very stretched with a lot of things. And I was in my late 30s, and I thought, I want to find a partner now. Because I don't want life to be so hard.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that when you have the right partner by your side, everything becomes easier.
Yeah. And they can put the bins out as well.
Well, that's just one example of many, right?
It's a really good example.
And I was onto something with that.
Yeah.
Because so to take my husband as an example, and he's not a unicorn, okay? Guys like that exist. I think we often forget that when we've been disappointed, and we date for a bit, and all we see is being ghosted, and guys disappear and they disappoint, and so on and so forth. We think that all men are like that, but they're not. And so he is someone who is very generous, very kind. He is one of the most helpful people I know. Like, he will do things even before I have realized they need doing.
Wow. Has he got a brother?
He does, but he's married. So, and he is also, like, he's my rock. He's my biggest source of also mental, emotional support. He's been my biggest supporter in creating this coaching business. He loves to talk about all things relationship with me.
Yeah.
And he's a great advisor also when it comes to parenting, because he has 3 kids of his own. So there is just so much that I can share with him, and so much in terms of resources and strength that I can draw on. And of course it's mutual. I mean, I try to, do my best, of course, as well. But so we often say that we are really just better together, And I also wanted to come back to something that you said. You mentioned that as women, we can go through a very tough period, and it's often like the middle of life with menopause and caring for kids and parents and so on, and work. The list goes on and on. And sometimes we can think that, well, I wouldn't even know how to fit a partner in all of this. Or the right partner doesn't exist who would put up with me and all of this. But from my experience, when both people are invested in doing the right thing, and listening to each other and giving each other what they need, then you figure out solutions. I can say to my husband, you know what, I need time for myself. Like, I can go off simply for a weekend, or disappear into a separate room, go out and meet girlfriends. But it is also our responsibility to shape the relationship in the way that we need, and speak up and ask for help and ask for space, which I think as women, we have often been conditioned not to. Like, we've been conditioned to do things for others and help others and make it right for others. So that has definitely, for me, been a learning curve. Has that been positive?
Yeah, no, and also it's about how communication is so important as well. And I think it is really important, you know, if you meet somebody, and I am a bit of a believer that if you want to make something happen and you work towards it, you know, it can do. You know, I think I said to someone recently, you know, clearly I'm never going to be an astronaut, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But if it's kind of something that's vaguely realistic, and you think, actually, you know, I've met this person, yes, I've got this in my life, yes, I've got that, yes, I'm doing that. But if I don't want to be on my own for the next 30 years, I need to put the time in myself to make this work. So I think we need to put that responsibility onto us, that if this is something that is important to us, then it then becomes almost like a non-negotiable, right? Well, if I'm doing that, then I need to make sure that even if you end up planning it and going, well, that day I'm going to see this person and this day I'm doing that, then you're putting that commitment in, and that's how it will work.
And I think we really, as a society, we need to focus more on patience again, and commitment, and putting in the effort to make something last. Because all those fragmented relationships where we leave when things get difficult, and we think, oh, we just haven't met the right person, like it makes a lot of people very lonely and depressed, and it's not good for us. We need this continuity in relationships, and being able to look back on a history together, and the tough bits are what really also bond us.
Yeah, absolutely. And life isn't always, you know, fun and games, and you have to have in life is ups and downs.
Exactly.
You know, you need one as well to like balance out the other, and to appreciate the good, you need the bad, and sort of vice versa as well.
Exactly.
And you know, and also I have done a little bit of research into, you know, looking for love and finding love and everything else. And one of the things that I came across as well, it was specifically for, you know, I guess middle-aged women or whatever. And it said, well, piece of advice was to refresh your wardrobe. And I saw this, and initially I thought, wow, I quite like what I wear. And then I kind of thought, well, actually, if what I'm doing isn't working, then if I keep doing it, it's that, you know, definition of insanity or madness is to keep doing the same thing. Well, clearly, if what I'm doing now isn't working, then perhaps changing my wardrobe a little bit, not like going massively out there, but, you know, getting a nice new top or something. That's not bad advice, really. I decided. So on kind of what your thoughts are of that, you know, if you decided that you want to put yourself out there, what kind of tips or advice would you give to people?
Oh, definitely. And I have a checklist that I give to my clients as well. Because when they start the program with me, the recommendation is actually to not date for some duration and to focus on yourself. So do the inner work first.
Yeah.
Remove some blinders, maybe. But then the time comes when, okay, let's get to a dating plan and strategy, and let's get out there. And then there is a checklist to do a few things that prepare you for dating. Absolutely. And I think it's important to ask, okay, what's the goal?
Yeah.
What's the goal of this preparation? And the goal is to make sure that you can show up in a way that is confident, where you feel good in your own body. And, there's always this tension between, well, if you really feel good inside, then it doesn't matter how many kilos or what you're wearing, it'll radiate out. But we also all know that when we wear something nice that we like, it can give us this extra bounce in our step.
Of course, yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
But I would also see things in perspective. So there are things that we can do that matter more, and things that are kind of cherries on top.
Yeah. I mean, the cherry on the top is the new top. It's not the main thing.
Right. I would tend to agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. And another thing that I saw as I watched Baby Laugh, and it just said, like, get out of your house. And that seems like such a simple thing to do. Actually, just get out. But you're not going to meet people if you don't leave your house.
Oh, I think that's actually super important advice. And I know that it can feel daunting, especially for introverts.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm much happier at home, but yeah, completely.
No, I know. And I remember, though, thinking that if I stay at home on the couch, I can say goodbye to this dream that I have, of meeting my man. I guess I have to go out and meet people. Yikes. And I remember going to an event, kind of like a social event, like a mixer for expats. And I remember standing outside the pub or wherever it was, looking through the window, and it had been quite a trip into the city for me. So with some prep and, getting ready and so on. Yeah. Looking through the window and feeling like, I can't do this. And I went home again without going in. So I know it can be hard, but so it's not a small thing for some people. Some people love it, right? But others struggle with this. And then also really choosing the places and events where you go. Also being discerning about that. So that you don't spend too much time and energy simply going to the wrong places all the time. And then you run out of steam.
And I guess that's things like, it's then doing things that you enjoy. Like, I mean, I'll do a park run every week. Or going, so you'll stop making those little baby steps of going out and just trying to meet people a little bit organically as well. And, maybe tell your friends, hey, Bob, I'm looking for a partner. Do you know anyone?
Oh, Claire, seriously, what you're saying, I think, is super important. And it's all also part of the coaching that I do. To first of all, go with what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And what feels good to you, also where maybe you can act out some of your values. So that there is alignment there, and that you possibly meet people who share the same values.
Yeah.
but mostly also so that you come with the right energy. When we enjoy something, we're happier, we're more relaxed, we can get passionate about something, and that's attractive, and that's so much more attractive even than a new top.
Yeah. And then you're also in your kind of your comfort zone. So although you're kind of in a way looking for something that, or not looking, but you're going out to maybe find someone, you're doing something that you know that you can do. And it just takes the pressure off a little bit as well.
Oh, it's so good. And then also, you know, sometimes women say to me, oh yeah, I go dancing, but there are 90% women there. So I wonder if I should even go if I'm only meeting women. I think to begin with, simply, like you said, go out and socialize, meet people, meet new people, be active, because we also need to practice social skills.
Yeah.
And we might think that, well, I'm a human being, I have family, I have friends, I have work contact, I have social skills, thank you very much. But but there is actually quite a variety of social skills, and we might not be so practiced at some of them.
And maybe your new dancing buddy has a brother.
Exactly, right? You never know.
Yeah, but you'll never know.
And this leads to the second thing also that you said, which I think we should highlight here, and that's tell people that you are looking for a partner.
But without sounding desperate.
Of course. I mean, there are ways and ways of doing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Because if you don't let the world know that you are single and willing to, you know, meet a few eligible men, then why would they think of you? So absolutely, don't be shy about that. Let people know.
And you never know, one of them might go, do you know what, I've had this perfect person. I didn't know you were looking, but now I know you do. No, I will absolutely introduce you. Because again, you just never know what's in front of you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, your person could be right around the corner, and you don't even know, and they don't know. But we really have to take kind of initiative and agency and responsibility for what we want. And I think of it almost like letting the universe know through our actions and through our words that we mean it.
Yeah.
You know? And we do that in all other areas of life naturally. Like if we want to become a doctor, then obviously we have to do something about it. We won't just wake up one day and we're a doctor.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Probably, yes. Safer for everyone.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming to the end of our time now, which is, I've been really enjoyed this conversation. I just wondered if there's any little final little tips or little pieces of information that you wanted to share with people.
I would say this last bit is a good bit to end on, which is if you want to meet someone, then I would say the first thing is to believe that you absolutely can. Yeah. So there are several great matches for all of us out there, not just one. It doesn't have to be a needle in a haystack kind of search. And then do something about that. Talk to people who you know, who you trust with relationships. Yeah. Maybe you know couples who have good relationships. Talk to them. Like get really curious and invested in this area. I would actually really set a few hours in the week aside just to learn about yourself in relationships, dynamics between men and women, or whatever your preferred gender is.
Yeah.
Follow relationship coaches online, on social media, and watch YouTube videos. There's so much you can do. Read books.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And then when you're ready, get busy.
Yeah, go out.
Go out. Be social. Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed having you on today.
Thank you so much, Claire. It's been an absolute joy.
Thank you. And I will see you all on the next episode of Discovery Corner. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Look after yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Stay curious and keep discovering.